In 1977, through his lawyer, he wrote a letter to Richard Sprague, chief counsel of the House Select Committee on Assassinations. He said he had information indicating that others besides Oswald must have participated in the assassination. He was willing to talk about it at this time. Sprague, who made clear his intention to fully investigate the CIA's involvement, was forced out 2 weeks later. Dr. Berkeley submitted a written statement to the House Select Committee, but there is no official record of him being deposed as a witness.
In 1982, he told JFK researcher Henry Hurt, "I know there was more than one gun." And when Henry Hurt tried to recontact Berkeley for more details, Berkeley cut him off at the knees. "I don't want to talk about it anymore." The very next year, Berkeley talked to Michael Kurtz, another JFK researcher, told him that he knew there was a conspiracy to kill the president, and that he recalled an exit wound in the back of President Kennedy's head. Now that's a very significant statement, that the only doctor we know of who was present at both Parkland for treatment and at Bethesda during the autopsy told Michael Kurtz in 1983 that Kennedy had an exit wound in the back of his head. When Kurtz tried to recontact Berkeley, Berkeley cut him off at the knees. "I don't want to talk about this anymore." Dr. Berkeley was deceased by the time the review board was impaneled. So then Jeremy decided, well, we can ask the executor of his estate, his daughter, to sign a waiver so that we could go to the law firm that Mr. Illig used to work for, because he was deceased also, and see if there were any records in the file of Mr. Illig that would have revealed what it was he wanted to tell the HSCA in detail. And she said she would do that. And then Jeremy called her on the phone. She had completely changed her mind and adamantly refused to sign it and terminated the phone call.
When I was a teenager, Dr. Berkeley and his family, 4 children, and my father and our family of 4 children shared a duplex, lived together at the Newport Naval Hospital. He had a son, George, who was my age, 16, and we became buddies. I looked him up again in 2012, and I asked him about what his dad had told him and his siblings about his role in the Kennedy case. That the only thing that he would say was that he couldn't understand why the Warren Commission never asked him to testify. And Dr. Berkeley knew perfectly well why he wasn't asked to testify before the Warren Commission. The reason he didn't say anything to his children, he didn't want them to know that he was intimately involved in the cover-up. Dr. Berkeley's death certificate makes the single bullet theory bogus. The way the Warren Commission dealt with it was, they didn't publish the death certificate.
If the ARRB had been a criminal investigation, would you have granted Berkeley immunity for his testimony?
We should have redeposed Humes and Boswell,